Raditz is a character in the Dragon Ball universe whose life was cut tragically short before his potential could fully be realized. The firstborn son of Bardock, he had the potential there, same as Goku, and we never got to see it realized. And sure, he was the bad guy. For the sake of the plot, he had to go. It made sense story-wise, but I couldn't help but wonder what would happen if he had managed to survive some way, somehow. In a way, it's an idea that we've continued to explore with today's story of What If Raditz Fought Goku at Kame House. A change in venue actually went a long way to change the story entirely. From redeeming himself, to starting a family, to managing to keep up with Vegeta and Goku utilizing God Ki himself, Raditz has been a mainstay in this series, and that's no exception with today's part. Now, if you're new to this channel, part 1 is right above my head. Please guys, leave a like and subscribe, and leave comments down in the video below on your thoughts on the video. In our last part, we saw the invasion of Planet Vegeta begin, Frieza pairing up to fight against Vegeta, King Cold being stuck fighting Broly, and Cooler fighting against Piccolo and Gohan combined. But Cumber was a beast of his own. At first, Goku tried to face him, and he didn't stand a chance in a 1v1 battle. Then, Raditz, Nappa, and Gotenks tried to take on Cumber together. A riled up Cumber was fascinated by the prospect of a Super Saiyan Blue and 2 Super Saiyan gods taking him on at once, and he decided to go into an overkill state, utilizing Super Saiyan 2 and wiping the floor with all 3 of them. However, Kini saw Trunks and Goten go into action, fusing into Gotenks, and she didn't want to be on the sidelines herself. Using the healing powers that she had utilized on Planet Yardrat, she healed Goku, putting him back up to full power, and utilizing Kaioken stacked onto Super Saiyan Blue, Goku charged back into the battle, immediately going for Cumber. Let's continue. Goku slammed into Cumber at full force. It didn't do an awful lot, but it caught him off guard enough for Raditz to manage to land a clean kick directly onto his face. This sent him careening down into the ground, giving them a moment to breathe.
Brother, it's good to see you on your feet again and all, but even our combined powers aren't going to be able to do that much. We need to think of a plan.
You're absolutely right. I think I have an idea. Just give me a second. Goku put 2 fingers onto his forehead and used instant transmission to teleport to a friend. It was Krillin. Goku? It's great to see you and all, but aren't you supposed to be dealing with Cumber right now? Yeah, Krillin, I am, but I'm gonna need your help with something. Not for naught, but wasn't our last hurrah together supposed to be against Gas? You know as well as I do you've always been better at the spirit bomb than me. I need you to set one up. I'll do my best to distract Cumber along with Raditz and the others. I just need you to land the blow on him. Krillin looked around and saw that things were pretty well under control here. Between the likes of the newly restored Ginyu and the humans like Tien and Yamcha, there wasn't really much fighting left to be done here. He didn't have an excuse, so he agreed. Goku and Krillin flew over to another portion of the battlefield where 17 and 18 were fighting in tandem with each other. They were recruited as Krillin's protection detail, and the 3 of them went together to a location nearby Cumber, and Krillin started charging up the spirit bomb. Goku made his way back to Raditz expecting the worst. However, he, Nappa, and Gotenks were still doing just fine. He looked down at the battlefield to see that Cumber was facing off against a Galactic Patrol warrior. Gotenks offered an update to the situation.
Yeah, that must be that Miras guy that the Galactic Patrol's always bragging about. He looks really fast.
Looking down at the battle, Gotenks was absolutely correct. Cumber couldn't seem to land a single hit on Miras. He had never seen someone so fast in his life. However, Miras wasn't able to accomplish anything on his own either. He had a stun blaster on him, but it was seemingly having no effect on Cumber. Out of frustration, Cumber exuded a blast that surrounded the entire immediate area, forcing Miras to retreat, and then he immediately started charging at the Dragon Team once more. Goku barely had enough time to put himself back into his Kaioken state before he received a punch firmly to the gut, knocking the wind completely out of him. Raditz went in for a punch of his own, but Cumber caught it casually with his hand. Nappa used an eraser cannon that forced Cumber to let go in order for him to be able to dodge, but Gotenks also used a Super Ghost kamikaze attack that was chasing him around. He moved in and kicked Gotenks to the ground, thinking that would stop the attack from happening. However, they kept on coming, and they all managed to land, doing barely any damage at all. Gotenks groaned in pain, and as he was lying there, he defused, being out of the battle for now. And Nappa went in trying to catch Cumber off guard and got knocked into the ground himself. The hit was so hard that he couldn't get back onto his feet. But while all of this was happening, Krillin's Spirit Bomb was starting to grow rapidly. All of the Saiyans that currently weren't engaged in battles or out of commission had congregated near it to give most of their energy. Seeing that they were still well behind the likes of Vegeta and others, they figured that this was the only way that they could truly contribute right now. Even Kaba and Caulifla, who were fairly confused as to what was going on at all, contributed, and their ki was pretty massive. But Frieza saw the spirit bomb forming and looked around to see who was making it. He laid his eyes upon Krillin, the one who had launched it on him years ago, and put a smile on his face. This was his opportunity to stop it from happening again. I'm afraid not this time.
Not this time for what? For where are you going?
Frieza took off with Vegeta hot in pursuit. This chase took them directly into the line of sight of Cumber, who went in charging after Vegeta. Seeing another Super Saiyan God to punch, that put a smile on his face. Vegeta had tunnel vision, nothing on his mind but taking out Frieza. He was completely oblivious to his surroundings and didn't even notice Cumber approaching him until it was too late. Cumber really wanted to make this hit count too. It was time to start dropping bodies, not enjoying a fight. He powered into his Super Saiyan 3 state and landed a punch so hard into Vegeta that he went flying directly into the ground, his jaw completely broken. Cumber landed on the ground nearby Vegeta and watched him gasp for breath. Goku and Raditz landed right behind him. The 3 Super Saiyan Blues all looked worse for wear. They were surrounding Cumber, but Cumber stood there calmly, dropping back down to his Super Saiyan 2 state to conserve energy.
Do you not see your weakness? No matter what you do, these new forms you pull out, none of it's good enough to even compare to me. I was certainly surprised to see those exceed the likes of Super Saiyan God, but it still is nothing.
As Cumber was speaking, Vegeta slowly made his way back onto his feet, popping his jaw back into place.
You know nothing of what the Saiyans have become. I don't know what the ancient Saiyans were truly like, but we are not nothing. We have become so much more than what you used to be. We have honor, pride, the will of the Saiyan warrior to fight to our own deaths if we need to. And I'm not going to bow to you, Cumber. I am the prince of all Saiyans. You bow to me!
Vegeta put himself into a power-up stance and started a mighty roar. His power started to increase, going beyond even that of the Super Saiyan Blue. A new, darker blue aura started to surround him, his hair becoming slightly more spiky. This was an evolution of the Super Saiyan Blue state. Vegeta was somehow pulling out power that even he didn't know existed. Goku became incredibly excited and reinstated his Kaioken state, and the two of them started battling Cumber in tandem while Raditz watched on in amazement. No matter what, they kept managing to push out new and new forms, utilizing new power as it was needed. He needed to use something of his own. He'd been trying for the last 4 months to utilize something new, and he wasn't quite there. But this was the time for him to finally try and do it. Frieza had continued on his way towards Krillin, glancing behind him and seeing that Vegeta had been taken care of for the moment, and he thought that he was going to have a completely open door to take Krillin out. He was wrong. Before he could get close enough to Krillin to do anything, he received a firm punch to the face that he didn't see coming at all. Although he was able to sense ki, at least at a rudimentary level now, he wasn't able to sense this person. It was Android 17, and this caught him completely off guard. Frieza recovered himself mid-air and stared angrily at the android. So you're the one that manages to get Vegeta riled up all the time, huh? Gold? That's a little gaudy, don't you think? As if I care of the opinion of a lowly human such as you, Frieza stated as he aimed a death beam directly at Krillin and fired. 18, however, got directly in the way and put up a barrier, absorbing the entire thing. Ah, you purple dome-headed loser. That was a pretty cheap move. Guess I'm gonna have to repay the favor, not giving me your full attention. 17 and Frieza clashed while the onlookers up above of Beerus and Champa enjoyed the battle. It was then that Whis also returned with a couple people in tow. Shin and Kibito, as well as a pair of earrings that he was holding in his hand, and a sword. Perfect timing, Whis. Look down at Vegeta over there. Is he not impressive? Yes, Lord Beerus. It seems as though our Prince of all Saiyans has found a state even beyond that of Super Saiyan Blue. It's quite fascinating. Your Saiyans are impressive indeed, Beerus. I hope that this is a learning experience for mine down there. They better be absorbing this information. Aha!
I knew you just wanted to bring Saiyans here to learn about mine. Trying to get an upper hand against me, eh, Champa?
Beerus and Champa began loudly bickering at one another while Vados and Whis stared on in embarrassment. This caught the attention of Frieza, who looked up and saw Beerus.
"Oh my, Lord Beerus!"
muttered Frieza nervously. "What is it? Do you know that guy up there? Why's he got you so scared?" 17 inquired, curious enough to halt his punches at Frieza to get his question answered.
"You filthy human ingrate! That is the god of destruction! You speak with respect!"
"Oh, Frieza," Beerus stated down at the battlefield,
"I can't help but notice you stopped fighting. Why?"
Frieza was starting to get very nervous with the God of Destruction's attention on him, but 17 was happy to put himself back into the battle, launching a punch that he didn't expect. Frieza and 17 continued trading blows, with Frieza wondering why his opponent wasn't getting tired at all. On another part of the battlefield, King Cold was still taking a wallop. However, he was starting to adapt to the battle.
"You know, Saiyan, I'm starting to realize that the stronger you get, the more brutish you become. Your brain functionality seems to drop as the battle goes on, and a stupid Saiyan is a killable Saiyan."
King Cold started launching death beams in completely random directions, taking out both Frieza Force members and Galactic Patrollers alike. This senseless means of destruction was setting Broly off the deep end, making him lose control of himself more and more until eventually he snapped and became a mindless, raging beast. Utilizing this mindlessness, King Cold went flying down into the masses where the battle was taking place. Broly went into pursuit but quickly lost focus of King Cold, starting to attack anything that was in his way. King Cold, taking this opportunity, slipped out from the midst of that battle and went towards Cooler to help his son out. He charged into the scene, catching both Piccolo and Gohan off guard, knocking them both away briefly. However, they recovered, and a 2v2 fight of Piccolo and Gohan versus King Cold and Cooler began. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. If you guys like an epic battle involving Frieza, check out this story where Beerus didn't wake up. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.